The number one question that we get when getting our planner is, where do I start? It can be overwhelming, and really the best advice that I can give you is just to start. Every single piece of our planner has been designed and organized with where you need to start in mind. So the first part of it is goals. That is where you need to start. What are your next 5-year goals? What is your next 10-year goals? What is your goal for this year? Start there. We have a spot to have your big picture goals. Someone recently shared that they use their big picture goals as a place to give a pep talk for themselves on what they need to get done. I loved it. Use that space to lay out from a big perspective, what are your dreams? And that's where you put them to make them happen. Then we break it down into this year it's got home life, relationships, spiritual, physical, financial, professional, educational, and travel. Where are all these aspects of goals in your life? Where do you want them to be in that next year? This is a place to put them down. A lot of times too, we have these goals and we have these dreams and aspirations, but we don't share them with someone. So we're not held accountable to our own things. And we also sometimes don't believe that we can. It's important to share these goals with someone so that they can push you and hold you accountable, that if you want to lose 10 pounds or if you want to save up and go on that big vacation next year, that you're doing it, that you're actively working towards it every single day and every single month. That's why goals are in the beginning, because that's where you have to start. The goals that you have set up for your life, professional and personal, is carried over to these daily tasks and these daily to-do lists that we create. These should be catering and going back to our goals that we have for ourselves. That is why goals is the first thing on every single one of our planners. For Hustle and Fancy Pants, it then goes to a tab right now. Currently it says projects, but we're changing that to plans. This has got projects where you can, create a photo album or launch a new website. This is the big projects that you can kind of use a space to keep yourself on task. And again, a lot of times these relate back to our goals. That also has charity and vacation planner and holiday planner and keeping it clean. Those are all in the plan section. Currently, as we're filming this, we have a finance tab. These are monthly budget sheets that you can use to keep your finances in check. Those are going to be moved to the monthly pages. So if you're planning January, you're going to have that financial for 2017 going forward inside that tab. So you're not having to flip back and forth throughout the month. That's where you should start, is the monthly overviews. Use those monthly tabs to plan your life, to plan your doctor's appointments, your kids' spring break, to plan those vacations and all those things that happen. And then I am someone that needs a daily planner, but I still plan on a weekly basis. Sunday is my day to sit down, map out my week, map out dinners, map out my grocery list, and kind of get myself set up for the week. I am constantly building lists. I am building lists today for next week. I'm building lists last night for today. And it's just so therapeutic and important for me thoughts that I have throughout the day to write them down. I actually sleep better because I put them down on paper. So depending on how you plan, every week I sit down and write out my schedule, and I time block. So meaning I try to put like-minded things on the same day. So I only have meetings once or twice a week for the same amount of time. Doctor's appointments, I try to put doctor's appointments and hair and those kind of things, I try to put on the same day so that if I'm taking myself out of the office, it is all on the same day and I'm already out and about. It makes me more efficient. I don't have a lot of time, and I feel like that's our most valued asset is time. So if you can group like-minded things together, it's really important. A lot of people ask, like, if I'm not that busy, should I be using my schedule? Absolutely. A schedule is important for someone if you're busy or if you're not. It's being intentional with that time and making sure that you're writing things down and being purposeful with that time. That's so important. So that's kind of how I use it. I hope these tips and tricks kind of, I also sit down on a monthly basis. At the beginning of every month, I sit down and, just kind of look at my month, look at my quarter, look at my financials. And from a business perspective, I do that every single month in order for me to stay on track financially, projections, ideas. And the things that you are doing should all go back to your goals. So there's this method, I guess I would say, to our madness of how everything is organized in our planner. And I just really feel like we have health involved, we have life, and a lot of times if one thing is out of whack, it all is out of whack. So it's important that we are constantly pushing ourselves, challenging ourselves, holding ourselves accountable to all the different goals and dreams and aspirations that we have in our life in order to find success and to find happiness.